So she was saying about the first wife, Aki, how she handles things, especially if she finds out like her husband's wanting a second. And I think that the biggest challenge is not even, a lot of people go to like, oh, well, it's allowed in Islam. They go very black and white, which is fair enough, that's all true, it is. But you're not in a relationship that's black and white. People have emotions, people have feelings. You know, you've had children, you've got lives together. So even if at that point, yeah, the argument's being brought in, oh, well, I'm allowed, then there's clearly a problem within the relationship, because you should be having a conversation, you know. I'm not saying you need to have their permission outright. I know that that's not true, okay? But you're going to be in two relationships, you know, and you're responsible for two people. This isn't a light matter. It isn't something that you can just, oh, well, I marry somebody and then if it doesn't work out, there's people's emotions, there's people's feelings involved, and you don't consider any of that because, well, you're stuck and you have a right to do it. And obviously you must be feeling a thing to be wanting to get a second wife anyway. There must be things in the relationship, and I get that that you've got to that place, and for whatever reasons, you know, the brother is feeling like having a second is an option for him. And the background could be anything, right? But it's an option. My thing is, this is an opportunity for you to, you know, find a way to navigate that. Going in and secretly talking to people and trying to get married isn't the solution. And you know, the thing I hear from women most, the thing that they say the most honestly, the thing that hurts them is the secrecy. They really, afterwards, they're like, the fact that he was still talking to people behind my back, the fact that, you know, he was doing this for months. I've heard stories where people have gone back home, whatever back home is, you know, to get married. Brothers who have been seeking people online, so they've got accounts. And it's just, obviously you're going to do it, but what do you think is going to happen? There is going to be a backlash. There is going to be hurt and betrayal there. The wife is going to feel a certain way towards you because you weren't open, you weren't transparent. And I know the argument's going to come from brothers, which is, and I can address this in another video. Well, I asked her, I spoke to her, she said no. Look, if she says no, if you've been through that process, there'll be a point where you can say, look, I wanted to consult you, I want you to know, I'm going to go ahead and do this. You'd still have some transparency in that relationship. If the conversation had gone that way, it would lead to that point. So that's not the situation or the scenario that I'm, you know, addressing here. It's about the ones where the wife doesn't know anything, and then all of a sudden, or suddenly he'll come up and say, oh, I want to get married, I've been thinking about it, and I'm going to go and do it. My thing for this, like my point I'm trying to make here is, then don't bring in, well, I'm allowed, as an argument to it for her, for dismissing her emotions, for when she brings up her concerns, when she's emotional, whatever it might be, when she's saying certain things to you in despair or shock or pain. She's going to be showing up that way, not because it's allowed, but because of the way you went about it. And you need to realise that. That's the bottom line. You know, at that point to say, well, you should be really calm and Islam allows it, it's not really fair to do that. That's not how relationships work. You can't just throw that in and then use that as the argument to dismiss her emotions. It still doesn't mitigate the fact that you didn't communicate with her, that you weren't upfront with her, that you at least didn't have the decency to say to her, look, it's not working or whatever, and I really want this and I'm letting you know. You didn't do that, so there is going to be some backlash.